Okay, what's going on, guys? We're back with the next part of our learning C# tutorial, and today we're going to go ahead and fix a little bit of this. So first thing I want to do is first in here make a new set of parentheses, and we'll do minus 100 because that's going to be the default distance where we don't need to do any sort of adjustment. Next, what I need to do is fix our parentheses a little bit in here and do our 100 minus power before we do the divide by 100. And that will give us the inverse like we need. So this way we say if we have full power, 100, we do 100 minus 100, which is 0, divided by 100, which is still 0, multiply this, which will still be 0. That's if we have full power. Now if we're at 0 power, it's 100 minus 0, which is 100, divided by 100 is 1, and then that'll be equal to the value no matter what. So that's working the way we want it to. Now we have our height adjust printed to the screen. Now the last thing we need to do is do this check for the height adjust in our shooting manager. So in here where we have our plus new vector 3 interpreted wind, what we're going to do is actually, just to clean this up a bit, cut this from here, add it in here, and then just remove this guy. And then in here we'll do our Y plus our height adjust. Okay, so now just keep in mind, even though we do have a lower level for our tick marks, we also have a upper level, which we won't use because there's no way a bullet would go up. It'd only go down, just for formality's sake. So I'm gonna go ahead and load up Unity now, and we can test this out. Oh yeah, and one more thing I forgot to mention is in here we have our distance check manager. In here we have the same, where is it? Yep, the same line of code here, just except for our interpreted wind and our height adjust. So it'll take in the mouse position, and so when we go ahead and do this check here, just for testing purposes, so I can kind of pinpoint if something does go wrong, we'll go ahead and print hit damageable, and then in here we'll do print hit something. Okay. Now one more thing I want to do is actually we're gonna add in another set of parentheses here, and we're gonna do divided by 1000 f. And you're probably thinking, why would you do that? That's because I'm trying to, well, actually we'll do more like divide by 10. And that's because I want to do things where it's realistic, like 1,000 meters away. But that would only equate to, let's say, it would only equate to what is that, 90 pixels or something like that. So I think that's reasonable. So you have like 1000 to minus 100, which is 900, divided by 10, which is 90 pixels. So that's good. I mean, which is a reasonable amount, and then just multiply that by the power. Okay, let's go ahead and test this out. Where is it? So our distance from camera is 300, and hold on, I can't see the console with this in the way. Okay, so it's hitting something, which is the house. But it's not checking, or it's not managing to hit the damageable, except for right now. You can see it hitting it now, which is how it should be. However, our calculating is not showing up, and what I want to do now is we'll do print our calculating distance time dot toString. So now it'll print what our distance time is, just so I can figure. I think what the reason is, I think I'm just bad at aiming, but we'll figure it out. No, it's not. It's actually because it's not getting added to. And the reason for that is because, okay, is because, and here we have our hits. Let's go iterating through this multiple times. In that, let's say we hit the the person, and then we hit the house. So first it does a for each. So the first one hits is the person. It checks this. Oh, it's damageable. We have the calculating distance time. Let's add to it. Calculate the distance from target. All that other good stuff. And then we do the next iteration. We hit the house. It says, oh, it's not damageable. Let's set our calculating time to 0. And that's what's going on. So what I want to do is instead of doing a for each here, what we'll do is just well, that's a tough one because there may be instances where we want to shoot through stuff, so we need to figure out which one we want. So here's what we'll do. We'll do if hits dots okay, we'll make a new method. We'll do contains damageable, and we're passing in the hits. Calculating distance time is equal to 0, and we're gonna actually make this not contains damageable. Okay, so what this will do is here we're gonna make another iteration. We'll do a for each, raycast hit, hit, and hits. Let's make a boolean temp, set it equal to false. Here return temp. Okay, and we'll do if hit dot get component, or dot collider dot get component, what is it, idamageable, does not equal null, temp equals true. Actually, what I want to do is go in here and break, because we only need to check if there is one. We can break out of it. We don't need to wait and check to see if there's more than one, because that doesn't add anything. It'll just save us a little bit of resource time. We'll break out of that loop here, and then that should be it. So now, if nowhere in our line of our mouse position, if nowhere in there there's a damageable, then we're setting our distance time to 0. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this out. Now it says calculating distance, and this is pretty hard actually. And it said 300. Wow, this is really hard. Okay. I'm gonna lower the stability, the speed. My own game beats me. This happens more than once actually. I'll change the stability to, I can't remember what the scale was. Let's make it 10. Okay. Height adjust value is 14 pixels, so we'll go ahead and make this. Whoops. My mouse isn't quite on it. And we missed. So, let's go ahead and change our stability to, I don't know, 3. And then, next thing I want to do is, in here, we have our plus height adjust, which will be a, it'll be a positive value. However, we want to aim above that. So what we need to do is do this minus height adjust. Okay? And actually, I'm going to change this to 1500 meters. Okay? Let's give this a go. Wow, that's crazy hard. Hold on one second. Okay, we're back. And one thing I did is, in here I just converted this to an int the same way, just so it looks prettier. And then one more thing I forgot to do. The reason why I wasn't hitting him is because we forgot about the wind too. So we'll go ahead and hit here 148, and then it was like 100 something. For some reason, I always manage to hit that. And I missed. Let's try again. I still missed. I think, I'm not entirely sure, but let's go ahead and actually go back to a plus here, because I forgot that the mouse position Y is inverted. So let's go ahead and try that out. Oh my goodness, I swear, that's planned. And we still missed. So I'm going to go ahead and do some debug and see if it is me just failing at aiming, or if we're doing something wrong. So hold on 1 minute. Okay, we're back, and I just added in a new gizmo thing here, but it didn't actually help, but I realized it as I looked at it. And the reason it's not working is because before we can do the height adjustment, it's asking us to make sure to check the distance first, and then once we calculate the distance, that's when it creates that height adjustment. So now we have our height adjust value of 138, and now if I pause it and bring this guy back over, now you can tell, actually, that means it is actually a minus adjust here, and same here. Now that's when that does that. So what this means is we need to this would be fine, honestly. It's just that's why it wasn't working for me, is because you do have to do a distance check either way. But you know, if you're a cheater like me, you already know the wind or the distance, then it would fail. So 103. I'm gonna hopefully not miss. And there we go. We now have our distance system working the way it should. So I'm gonna go ahead and just remove our debug, and well, you guys don't need to see that, so I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit, and I'll see you guys in the next video.